Number 5. You want me to go?
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson.
Same.
God, man. Thought we were going to hit some changes soon, but I guess not.
If we're going to hit changes, it's going to be in a couple. But
It's gonna come soon for sure. Justin Jefferson, man. I mean, he tallied 700-yard games last year, averaging 15.9 yards per reception. I mean, he was basically able to break out in his rookie year. I mean, he looked so good the whole entire year from week 3, right?
Yep.
All the way to the end of the
he
year.
played 16 games last year, finished 6th overall at the wide receiver position. You take weeks 3 through 17, he was the wide receiver 4 at 15.8 points per game. In that span, he was a wide receiver 1 or a wide receiver 2 57% of the time. The problem, though, is the games where he wasn't good, he was pretty bad. I had him last year in Dynasty. Yes, I have Justin Jefferson in Dynasty.
Yes.
Just every time I bring him up, I gotta say that.
Yeah, I hate that.
It was kind of bizarre at times and really maddening because he would have incredible games and then just he could hurt your team at times.
Yeah, I mean, for instance, he had week 6 against Atlanta, 11 targets, 9 receptions, 166 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I mean, that's a massive game.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the very next game, he goes 4 targets, 3 receptions for 26 yards.
Yeah.
And week 8. And that's coming after a bye week, which usually you improve.
Yeah.
So you had a week off to, really get back into swing of things. And then, I mean, he even followed that up with another really poor performance with three receptions for 64 yards. So he does have some bad weeks, but I think coming into this season, coming into a year 2, I think he's going to take a huge leap.
Well, this is the thing. We both have him at 5, so that means we both think the efficiency is going to stay the same. Because this is the thing. He was 18th in targets last year, 125 targets. It's a decent number. With 88 receptions, that's 16th. But he was 4th overall in yards at 1,400. 9th in yards per catch at 15.9 with a 70.4% catch rate. That is very efficient.
Yeah. And I still think it has room to go up.
Efficiency-wise, I think that's the best you're going to get. Target-wise, though, definitely can go up. And that's where it'll make up the difference. Because he 100% overtook Thielen last year as the number 1. He outproduced him, had a greater target share than him. But when we get to Adam Thielen, we'll get to him next episode, I mean. It was kind of strange because Adam Thielen was very good last year.
Yeah.
He was very, very good last year.
Yeah, he's my boy.
Yeah, so this team has 2 alpha wide receivers. They have an alpha running back. Good enough quarterback. This team is going to be
a decent offensive line. It's not great, but it's decent.
Yeah, So, do you have anything else to add about Justin Jefferson? Because it's really, if you put him here like we do, most people have him around this range. 5 is usually high. You have to buy into the efficiency staying the same.
Well, because there are a lot of people that have Justin Jefferson ranked way lower than we do, and it blows my mind. But to me, the reason why I have him ranked where he is because I also feel like he has one of the highest ceilings even out of these top guys too.
That was going to be my next question. Do you think he could finish as the number 1 overall wide receiver?
I don't see why he couldn't. I mean, he definitely could. The only thing that holds me back from saying that's 100% is Dalvin Cook. That is a run-first team.
That doesn't bother me. What bothers me is the touchdowns.
Yeah, well,
because we'll reiterate this when we go to Adam Thielen. We can just dive into it now. The touchdowns really went to Adam Thielen, and they were incredibly efficient for Adam Thielen in the red zone. Justin Jefferson was fine in the red zone. Adam Thielen was otherworldly in the red zone. You look at like Devontae Adams, he was right there with him. Devontae Adams had 19 targets inside the 10. Adam Thielen had 13. Devontae Adams turned that into 13 touchdowns. Adam Thielen turned that into 10 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Hyper efficient there.
Yeah. And let's see, Justin Jefferson had 12 red zone targets and turned that into 4 touchdowns.
Exactly.
So, I mean, it is a little disappointing there in the red zone. He was more of a big play guy.
Oh, yeah.
And you can see that with some of his higher games, like 175 yards, 166 yards, 135 yards.
Yeah, he was 9th overall in yards per catch.
Like, yeah, he was getting downfield.
With a 70% there's nowhere no one close to him who had that many yards, saw that many targets, caught that many passes for that high of an efficiency.
Yeah. Yep.
I think the closest you could probably say is Corey Davis,
I don't even know.
who saw decently less targets than him. Julio, if he would have stayed healthy the whole season, probably would have been around there.
Right. Yeah, that's all I got to say about Justin Jefferson. I think I've got a new favorite in Minnesota. I have been looking for one of his jerseys.
You really do. For some, like you always like say you're a Packers fan, but you really
I
love
know,
the
I
Minnesota Vikings.
Well, I don't
Like
say
Dalvin Cook's
first
like your
off,
favorite running back. You've always loved Adam Thielen.
Hold on. Do not tell all of these people that listen to our show that I'm a Packers fan. Here's what happened.
What are you talking
No,
about?
listen. I do like the Packers.
You liked the Packers more when the Rams were in St. Louis.
Well, so I've grown up a Packers fan just because I really liked like the old school Packers, like the Reggie White era and things like that. Like I'm not as much of a new age Packers fan. I haven't liked them in years. I have moved to Minnesota because I really like their jerseys.
Okay.
I just love that
love
purple, man.
Yeah, purple's sweet.
That purple is just a sick looking jersey. And ever since, dude, their new stadium looks awesome. And I really started liking them because I'm a big Kirk Cousins fan, which you know, and most people.
I like Kirk. I've always stuck up for
I like
Kirk
him
Cousins.
as a human. I like him as a human. He's
Honestly,
a fine quarterback.
I don't like him as a human because he's might be one of the most boring people who ever walked this earth.
That's
also
fine. I
Cooks
mean,
his steaks in aluminum foil.
yeah, I always thought that was weird, but I don't watch him cook. So, all right, let's move on. But yes, I'm not a big Packers fan.
You still wear your Rodgers shirt, and you love Aaron Jones.
I just like football, man. I like players. I support players. All right, 6.
You know what you're getting for Christmas? Cheesehead.
Oh my God, don't do that.
Yeah, it's exactly what you're getting for Christmas. And you're going to forget about it from now until Christmas, so it's still going to be a surprise by then.
I'll forget about it tomorrow, to be honest.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. That is better than what was the quarterback that you were gonna give me that jersey? Anyways, doesn't matter. That was a few episodes ago.
Oh, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, Jimmy G.
I'll take a cheesehead over Jimmy G
G's
jersey.
Great.
All right. Number 6. I have DeAndre Hopkins.
Same.
God, this is getting terrible.
I really wanted to put him higher, man. I really, really did. This was like Calvin Ridley, Justin Jefferson, and DeAndre Hopkins were my toughest 3 people to rank because I could put them in any order, honestly, and I wouldn't hate it. I don't hate it if you take them in any order you want.
Right.
Do whatever you want with these 3 players. This is the way I have it. I really wanted to put DeAndre Hopkins higher because he can be the number 1 overall wide receiver.
Well, and DeAndre Hopkins just speaks for himself. Like, I'm not even going to spend a ton of time here. The only thing I want to say is DeAndre Hopkins looked really good in this offense, and he's going into year 2 now with Kyler, who also looked really good in this offense. And
there's room for improvement in the offense. Touchdown efficiency could still go up some more. It was better than Kyler's rookie season where it was just awful.
Right.
DeAndre Hopkins played 16 games last year, finished 5th overall at the wide receiver position. 29.4% target share in that offense. 2nd in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just ordinary for him.
Right.
Dude just gobbles up all the targets on the planet. Yes. Last year, he was 2nd in targets, 116. 2nd in receptions, 115. 3rd in yards, 1,407th. This is the one problem. This is the reason why he can be the number 1 wide receiver next year, and the reason why he wasn't close last year. He was 29th in touchdowns with 6.
Yep.
And he has had seasons where he can get double-digit touchdowns.
Well, and the biggest thing for me there is 18 red zone targets turned into 3 touchdowns, which is not normal.
And that was like one of the most blatant things even anyone could have noticed last year watching the NFL games. The Cardinals in the red zone last year.
Awful.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I don't know what was going on. They could move the ball down the field.
Yeah, it was Kenyon
like
Drake up the middle, getting stuffed. Kyler Murray the one thing that worked very well was Kyler Murray running the ball into the end zone.
Yeah. Which, if you were the Kyler Murray owner, then that was fine. But if you had anybody else, that was not good. But yeah, I mean, 6 touchdowns on the season, that's not really, nothing.
Completely average and mediocre.
Yeah. I mean, he had 7 the year before, but 11, 13, so he's done a lot better.
And he was a wide receiver 1 on a week last year, 50% of the time. second most of any player last year.
He still got it.
Oh yeah, there's not. Yeah, he was incredibly consistent last year. One thing that was lacking were those winning weeks, but he was extremely consistent.
Yep, I've got nothing really to say about DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, and if there's anyone out there who's AJ Green's coming into the offense, taking targets,
yeah, shut up.
I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, go somewhere else, please.
Thank you for watching the Fantasy Monsters on YouTube. If you liked today's episode, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel below. We also have a merch store we want you to check out with all new gear that we've got available. That'll be in the description. Also, if you want to see any past videos, you can check that out as well. Thank you so much for watching the Fantasy Monsters. We'll catch you next time.
Have a go.